Well, we had some technical difficulties with first our Camtasia recording. Seemed to lock up and I lost the video I made. Only made 3 points on a brief long this morning at the open. And when we booted the computer back up, I saw we traded all the way down to 17. And then for some reason the computer shut off. It's strange. So by the time we defragmented and got it booted back up, now we're here off the 17s. I see it got as low as 16. 1550, 16 in the B period, and now we're back at the 22s. It never got down to the 12 to 14 area that I had marked as support from yesterday. That's where a block of trade came in and pushed us up to the 22s, 24s at the close. We could never get down to that 12 to 14. We got as low as, like I say, 1575. And the initiative block of trade that brought us down to the 16s, we're right in the middle of that right now. That started at 25, so this area here, if everything else on the New York stock tick chart is in line, it's sort of oscillating between above the zero and below the zero, so I'm not exactly sure what to do there. I don't see any major divergences in any of the ETFs. The XLF is not making new highs, neither is the mini S&P. So we're just going to stand by and let the market consolidate here in the 21, 22s. If we get a push back up a little bit higher, we'll look for a short position. Might take one here soon. Look at all this two-sided trade up here. That's a lot of two-sided trade. We're going to wait to see on a pullback what happens here. But the C period high might be a high for the morning session. Looks like we might have a balanced day today. We have the day's range at just a little over 10 points, about 13.15 to about 26. We're going to short the 2350s too, short 2350. And we'll put our stop, let's see, we'll put our stop at, we need to put it above here, 24 and a quarter, 25 and a quarter. We'll put our stop at 25 and a quarter. That's a close stop, but let's see, the alternative is putting it at 27. We bounce out over 27, that's a little too much. We're going to keep our stop at 25 and a quarter. 25.50 actually. Well, we put our tight stop at 25.50. Let's see if that 25.50 works. The only alternative was to put it above the A period high, and then you have the Globex high as a target, and that's a little bit extreme for a trade location at 23.50. Because we base the trade on, this cross trade here. One thing we could have done was wait a little longer for a retest. Basically, we waited about a minute, and this was the column of the retest, and got in right around there somewhere. So, it might have been better to wait for this retest to say, okay, well, 537 traded above, 1700 passive, probably have a good position. Let's take the 24s instead of the 2350s. But I'm just a little confused on the stop here. Like I say, we'd have to risk over the high at 26.50, which is the A period high. We'd have to risk over that at least a point, and that's a little bit much, I think. Ugh. Still have a potential of closing the gap at 35. We just need to see a little more data build in the New York tick chart. A few minutes will give us an idea as to whether we're on the wrong side of this trade or not. We're out of this trade at 24.75 out. We don't like this activity. This is not right. So we didn't even wait for our stop. 24.75 out. We could see that coming. No sense to just wait for our stop to get hit when you can see that the price action wasn't going in your direction. Now we have a little bit more stock tick data, so we'll make a decision based on that for our next entry. I think if we get above the 8-period high here, there's a good chance we can close the gap, so we'll see if we can get an opportunity to get aboard on the long side here. We're going to buy the 31 and a quarters. Wanted to get the 30 and a halves, but 31 and a quarter. Our stop is at 26, looking for a target of between 38 and 40, that high block of volume cluster up there. Once we get up there, I look for a short. Well, we got stopped out of that trade to 26. I'm going to stand by and take a break. We're buying the 26s again. See if we can make this trade work. Shouldn't say buy them again. That's what we got stopped out, but we're going to re-enter on the long side at 26. We have a 22 stop on this trade, which is the last area where it consolidated right after an initiative up push. Check the 5-tick reversal chart in the archives. That up push happened in the 1044 column. Our stop is placed at the low of the below the low of the 1045 column by about 3/4 of a point. Our target is 38 to 40 area. Well, after the break, we came back and we see the market traded down to 20 and change, so we got stopped out at 22. Whether that stop was too close or not, who knows? The market today just seems to be in a balancing kind of mode, small distribution. So we're just going to sort of stand aside here for now. We're going to attempt one more time and buy the 23 and a quarters here along 223 and a quarter. Our stop is 19 and a quarter. Wow, look at that. We got stopped out. I can't get on the right side of a trade for the last 2 days for anything. After having identified the gap as a target and the 12 to 14 area, which we got down to 17 as a target, I should have had a good day today, but I think I'm done now.